Hey, what's up, everybody? My name's Josh from Sleepless Product, and I've long been a believer that anybody can write music and that anybody should have access to the ability to write music. So today, I'm going to go through a little tutorial on GarageBand on iOS. I feel like a lot of people don't know the amount of power they have for writing music in just their pockets. So if you have an iPhone, good for you. If you don't have an iPhone, sorry, you're out of luck on this one. But yeah, with that being said, let's get into it. So I'll open up a new project. Now I always like to start with making a beat. So for GarageBand, what I always like to do, up the bars, you just hit the little plus in the top right with your finger, and I'll just throw it up to something random. Turn off the metronome, go to settings. Let's up the tempo. We'll do like 140 BPM. Now, you can see I got some good drum sounds out of this, right? It's actually not too bad. So next, let's change it up a little bit. One of my favorite electronic sets to use is, scrolled right past it, is Future Flex. And as you can see, it's got some really good sounds to it. So now, if you want to make a MIDI region to start actually recording or writing MIDI in GarageBand on iOS, you just hit the record button. And what I'll do is just hit a couple random notes. Go back to your main screen. We'll zoom in, and let's just extend it to 4 bars for now. Now, if you tap and then tap again on your MIDI region and hit edit, it brings up your MIDI roll. You can pinch to zoom in, you can extend it by pinching out, etc. So now obviously we don't want to go with the random hit, so if you hold your finger down, you can just select everything. Can be a bit tricky, takes some getting used to. And delete. All right. So now let's just start with a basic rhythm. So what I like to do is I like my kick, right? So which kick sounds better? Go with the low kick. And then the sub bass kick down here. So if we play it, there you go. You have your kick. So we'll just start by making a beat. And what I'd like to do is I just kind of throw stuff together until I get something I like. Now when you have the MIDI notes on here, when you get synths and stuff, we'll get into it later, but you can extend and shorten them just by dragging them. I like to keep my drum MIDI hits at, or triggers at, when you zoom in, it's just the one little bar. And then it's a half bar once you start zooming out. But I usually edit it from, this zoom level. Let's see. Yeah, see, that doesn't quite work. So now if you unlock everything, you can drag it. So we'll select it all, and then we can just drag the notes where we want them to get to a point where it kind of hits how we want it to. So let's unlock it again. Let's delete these. We'll move these back over. There we go. As you can see, it sounds super precise. You end up clicking around a lot just to hit the note you want. There we go. Now we got something going. So to make it easier on me to put it on the laptop to go into Logic or GarageBand or whatever I want to edit it in, I'll just copy and paste. So we got this little run set up, right? So we'll paste it. It goes to the end. And then for the second one, I'll just mess around. I'll move some stuff around. So throw kick in there. Throw some different claps and snare hits in there. And let's see what an extra kick sounds like. So the whole put together. Yeah, see, that works. Works for me. Now next, we'll find a tempo we like. And you can audition all the sounds just by clicking over here on the left. Let's start with a kind of sizzle hit, right? And we'll just throw beats in there. And then for the second one around, let's mix it up a little bit. Zoom in some so we can get a good hit. All right, let's see what that sounds like. Yeah, it sounds like a beat. Not big on those tall hits. Let's bring it down some. And a lot of times what I'm doing when I'm writing is just, I just keep moving stuff around until I get something that clicks with me, that I like. So let's see how that sounds. Yeah, that doesn't sound too terrible. Let's try that. Make it work. Zoom it in some. 1, 2, 3. Give that a shot. There we go. As you can see, it's not a super exact science. It's just keep doing stuff until you get something that you're okay with. So there we go. We have our basic beat set up. So next is just finding, I guess we'll start with a bass. So you have your instrument. So if I go back, I guess I'll make this easy. You can press the little plus down here. It brings up all the options you have. There's plenty of them. We'll go to Alchemy Synth. That's where all of our bass stuff's going to be. And as you can see, if you play, you can hear all the notes. You can octave up and down with the little arrows up here in the top left. Make it real low or real high. And then you have an arpeggiator and stuff here if you want to. Doesn't quite work with this, but yeah, that's all it is. But we'll keep it simple. So let's find a bass that we like. Let me see. I think I like the blooming bass a lot, yeah. So maybe not for this this feel. There we go. What I like to do is I like to audition it before I actually put it in. So I'll hit play and just hit some keys over it, see how it feels with that mood of the drum kit or the beat. And then same thing, you just hit record, make a MIDI region. You can play it if you want. It's kind of tough with fingers on a touchscreen. Open up the edit screen for the MIDI roll. Delete all the notes that you made. And now we will get back into it. So, not quite sure how I want this bass line to go. We'll figure it out as we move. Start something simple, something real major. Now Now the problem that I've run into with this, you can hear that and it hits, right? Listen. Super obnoxious just to get that like super heavy loud hit every time you hit a new note. So what I do is I'll extend the MIDI triggers just a little bit past where they need to be. And whoops. And then for the first one, so you don't get that super heavy hit, if you tap it and hit velocity, you can turn the velocity down. So you get this nice rolling bass. We're just going to throw stuff in. Hope it sounds good. Let's extend that and ring out. Yeah, what do you think of that? I think that sounds pretty good. So we have bass, we have drums. Let's turn the volume down. So your volume levels, the three little vertical lines with circles in them next to the FX button. So you have track settings. Track settings is kind of useless to me. I mean, you can quantize everything if you want. You can transpose it down an octave or up an octave or just semitones and merge and multi-take recording. Output's obviously pretty self-explanatory. Track volume, track pan. If I want to pan it the whole way to the left, just grab the slider, move it to the left. And then volume's the same, you know, you just up and down, make it louder and softer. This is a mute button, get rid of the bass. Or a solo button, you only hear the bass. You have a compressor, acts like a normal compressor, treble and bass. Just basic EQ moves right there. And then your master effects. So you have echo and reverb for master effects down here, and these get a little bit more in-depth. So let's turn a little bit of reverb on for the bass. And then when you want to get into it, you click the little arrow next to master effects, go to reverb, and then you can choose what type of reverb you're looking at. So I think the one that I like the most is club, at least for this application. And then let's just throw a tiny bit of reverb on our drums just to kind of glue it all together. All right, so we have drum pattern, we have a bass pattern, so let's find a lead synth pattern. Now again, this is somewhere I'll just play over it until I find something that really fits with the song. So we'll go up to leads. Let's see what we can find. That's the anthem hook. Guess it doesn't sound terrible. Maybe we'll find something better. I'm not a fan of that. Let's just stick with something simple. All right. So let's edit this. Now I kind of like where I was going with that, the do, you know. I think I just need to be a little bit more on time. So what we can do, select all. Actually, let's not even select all. Let's just do it the hard way. So we'll zoom in, make sure I'm on time. And we have a little bit of a melody going. So now what I'll do usually is just copy and paste it. And then I'll go in and mess around with just a second repetition, just to get some flavor to it, you know, add a little variety. Let's do some weird stuff. Let's make it weird. Oops. See how that sounds. Cool. Now let's mess around with the effects on the hook lead. So we have our master effects. Let's throw some reverb on there and some echo. Now we'll mess around with the echo. Same thing. Master effects. Hit the right arrow. Drop down menu for echo, and you have all kinds of different types of echo. So let's try some triplet echo. Has a little bit of movement. Yeah. Kind of dig the way that sounds. Now if we really want to play with our, you know, leads, you can go into plugins and EQ. Same thing, arrow next to the right of it. And you have all this fun stuff. If you hit edit, you can just start adding effects, right? So these are just effects that come with GarageBand, bit crusher, chorus, distortion, you know, the general effects. And then you have audio unit extensions. So Apple has a ton of stuff put in: bandpass filters, distortion, you know, iPod EQ, parametric EQ, peak limiters, reverbs. And then I have these. This is just an EQ, and then tone bridges from all type of guitar pedals. It's kind of fun to mess around with if you put stuff on it. So now it's just adding guitar effects. Ooh, that is shrill. So let's turn that down some. Yeah, not a huge fan of that. So we'll get rid of it. But yeah, we'll just let's throw some chorus on there. See what happens. A little chorusy shimmer to it. Cool. Now, one thing I'll do to add layers is add another track. Let's try mallets. Chimera hammer sounds all right. And then I will just literally copy and paste this right there. And then I will kick it to the right and then kick our anthem hook lead to the left. Let's throw some echo and reverb. And it should be said, when you change your master effects for echo and reverb, it's for every single track. So any track I put echo on, it's going to be that same triplet echo. So if you want to give it a listen. So they're both sitting in the same register. So for this one, I will transpose it down an octave. Add a little thickness to the sound, right? So we have that. So let's just we'll copy and paste the first section. Maybe we'll do it all. We'll see. So, whoopsie. This is what you got to be careful of. I pasted it, but I wasn't quite butted up to the end of bar 8 into bar 9. So I have to adjust it. You're going to get this weird little jitter, stutter, silence in there. So let's just add a real quick lead over top of everything. Let's see, what are we feeling? What are we feeling? How's crackling? Nah, it doesn't quite match, does it? Let's try, excuse me. Looking for something that can sustain, you know, feel that. There we go. I think that can do it. All right, so let's go back to the beginning. We'll hit record. So now we have our MIDI track. We can match it up to the same size as our other tracks. Drag it to where we want it to come in at. Let's hit edit. Let's kill the noise I made already. I'm just kind of throwing stuff in. We're going to legato it. Let's see how it sounds all together. Yeah, I kind of dig it. So let's just finish out the movement. We'll just extend this so it matches both. Hit edit. Let's see what we want to do with it. I'm kind of feeling something faster. Let's make it a little scarier. Do a cool little like fretboard style run up the piano roll for this one. I always like to go back and double check I didn't miss any notes. That's where are we at with that? All right. Let's try that. Ready? See how it all comes together. And there you have it. So that's the beginnings of like a really basic rhythm section with a song and just some cool stuff going on. But yeah, it's super easy to make music with your phone. It's a lot of trial and error. It's the same as doing it on a professional DAW, but if you don't have access to all the synths and instruments and stuff, and you don't have a MacBook with GarageBand, it makes it kind of tough. And everybody has a phone. You can mess around and work on your lunch break or something like that. If you have an iPhone, just putting stuff together and getting better. I think that music's been kind of a scary thing for people to get into, and I think it'd be really cool if more people were aware of how accessible it is for them with just what they carry around in their pocket every single day. If there's any questions, leave them in the comments. And yeah, it's me signing off. Thanks, guys.